you don't have a problem. You're not an alcoholic. You don't have the same struggles and the same problems as an alcoholic. I know you, and you are not an alcoholic. You just need to cut back. If you think you're drinking too much, you just need to cut back a little bit. The amount of times I've heard that, and from some family and friends, like a total, well, in fact, sorry, all family and friends really, that didn't understand, and that really, to this day, I'm sure they think that in some way that it's just attention grabbing, and that it's a way to, I don't know. I honestly, I don't even know, to be honest. I don't know the psychology behind it. But what I do know is that when you're a functioning alcoholic and you are desperate to change your life, and people don't know, they don't see what goes on when you're drinking at home on your own, and the misery that ensues, and the darkness, and the self-hatred, and I mean, I could go on and on and on. They don't see that. They don't know how you feel. You don't need any endorsement or anything from anyone else to get to the point where you need to give up. I can remember turning around to a family member and saying, listen, I think I've got a problem, and I think I need to give up drinking. I need to do something. And that person, I think, was a bit shocked, because they saw me paying my bills, going to work, still going out to family dues, and their vision of what an alcoholic was a vision of someone drinking a bottle of vodka in the shower in the morning, and passing out, and not being able to hold a job, not being able to do anything other than just drink and vomit. And that is one form of alcoholism, but there are many. And the biggest form of alcoholism is functioning alcoholism, where you are drinking way too much and you're dependent on it without really admitting it to yourself. You're drinking on your own. You're drinking regularly. When you don't drink, you don't feel right. You are drinking to wash away the day. I mean, I can go on. There are many reasons, but the biggest thing here that I wanted to sort of nail is that when you think you have a problem, or you know deep down that you want to change, you need to just tell people. One of the things that I realized through my journey was that I was almost looking for validation. I was almost looking for sympathy. Well, I was looking for sympathy, and it took a lot of courage to be able to say it. And I wanted someone to look back at me and go, okay, well, what do you need from me? A lot of the time, guys, that help and understanding isn't there. It wasn't for me, and I was sort of brushed off and told, you know, like, you're not an alcoholic. Just really wasn't given the time of day. And, you know, like, if you want to give up, there is help out there. And I didn't go to get rehab or go to Alcoholics Anonymous. I went through a lengthy process of being able to rewire my neuroplasticity in my brain to facilitate being able to give up. And once I'd made the decision to do it, the actual not drinking was pretty effortless. And when I look back now, I can clearly remember everything. I can clearly remember the thoughts, the feelings, and if I was to just give anyone any word of advice, would be to not expect people to understand, not feel that you need full support from your family or friends, because you won't get it. This is one of the hardest, it probably, if not, and to this day, is still one of the most frustrating aspects of giving up drinking, is that people just don't get it. They don't understand, especially if they're drinking all the time. Alcohol is such an ingrained thing that if you don't do it, you almost sort of a little bit weird. And I come from a drinking family, so this is not a dig. This is not a dig at my family or my friends, but it is a fact, and there's no animosity, or I'm not upset or anything like that. But what I want to do is I want to be really crystal clear about the reality of this and what happens, because this is real, and it will be one of the biggest problems that you face if you want to give up drinking alcohol. If I was to give some more advice about this, I would get it right in your head before you talk to anyone else, that you've decided that you really want to give up alcohol, and you're sick and tired of the way it makes you feel. You're sick and tired of being dependent on it, and you're sick and tired of the whole situation, the money aspect. I mean, I'm not going to go into it, but you're tired. You're done, and you want to give up. You really need to lay those pathways for your mind, for you to get to the point where it's done. And all you need to do then, I can go, if you want to comment on here, I will go into a lot more detail about that, if it's something that's of any interest, about how I did it without rehab, or Alcoholics Anonymous or anything like that. I'm more than happy to do that. So if you want me to go into there, just comment on here, and I will do that. But don't rely on people to support you. They will find it hard. They will find it really hard that version of you is no longer around. The version that they are used to seeing, the version of you, that fun version at the barbecue or the meal, or the person that they used to go and drink with. And they a lot of the time, people are used to, and they're in this themselves, and they want you to be there to drink with as well. So cutting out people is a big thing. And I mean, I cut out quite a lot of people, and I have done, even now, being sober 8 years, I've cut out a lot of people that I've met on the journey, who have then said that, oh yeah, you know, I don't drink, and I know they drink, and then they've finally found themselves comfortable with me, so they drink a lot. And then I've been in situations where I know they're lying, and I don't really want to be around that kind. So and it's no real judgment, everyone's on their path, but it's important that you've got your own boundaries, and you don't even need to give people reasons. You just need to not turn up. No drama, no nasty comments, just not turn up. It's not an act of aggression or nastiness. It's just you deciding that you don't want to be around something that's not really good for you, not really good for your mental health, or that you just don't want to be around that alcohol situation. It's one of those things that once you give up, I mean, initially it's a real trigger, and it's annoying. You don't want to see people drinking. It's tough to begin with, and further along the line, you switch from that to really not feeling at all inspired about being in settings where it's just full of people drinking alcohol. In fact, you get quite annoyed and frustrated about the fact that this is such a massive part of society and culture, and you start to question everything, and you don't really want to be around it. Well, you don't. I know I don't. So the whole aspect, I mean, this is a bit bitty, this video, but I just felt the need to put something up, and there's a lot of points that I haven't touched on. If there's anything that particularly that you want me to make a video on, let me know. I'm more than happy to put something up. But I really wanted to get the message out on this video that even though you give up, even though you know you've got a problem and you want to knock it on the head, don't expect people to understand. They will not understand. If you have got a wife or husband or a mum or a dad or a brother or whatever that are supportive and don't judge and just are there for you, or a friend, that they are gold. They are absolute gold. To be in a situation where you don't really need to explain yourself or fight your cause, you've decided that that's what you want to do, and they are there regardless and support you and are there in your corner 100%. That is such gold. Was not my experience, and that was the most frustrating part. Like I said, it's not now, and I'm totally cool. There's no animosity or anything like that. I want to be clear on that. And it's all part of that growth. You know, you got to do all this stuff on your own at the end of the day. If you've got some support, it's incredible. And if you don't feel like you can do it on your own, then you need extra support. But I, to this day, will put posts up, and I've never had a message from several members of my family. Never had a message, or I've never had someone say, I want to talk to you about what you did, and specifically really talk to me about it. I've got some in my family that have, and some of my friends that have, but I'd say 90% of my family and friends have not actually sat down with me and said, I want to talk to you about you getting sober, and I just want to give you a big hug and like say well done, that you changed your life and that you're a positive influence. You know, there's like that part of me inside that craves for that, and I'm cool without having it. It's just, what I'm saying is, don't expect that. Don't expect that you're just going to get all the support, because it's painful at the time and it can continue to be painful, but there's a very good chance you're not going to get that support. There's a very good chance you're not going to get that support. So be aware of that if you are going to try and give up alcohol. And it's, you know, this can run into all sorts of different things. If you're going to change yourself, you're going to start eating more healthy, because once you give up alcohol, life shifts and you end up wanting to be better just naturally. You find, you know, it takes a while to settle into your new skin, but once you do, you start to eat better, you start to hydrate more, your sleep gets better, you want to exercise, and it's almost like if you've got that growth mindset, it's what can I do next? And the support, again, that's another journey on itself. Most people aren't in this arena, but that is not an excuse that should be dressed up as a reason to not do this. You know, that you just be average. If you're feeling it, then sit with it, think about it, digest it, and think about it all the time, every day. Put it into your mind and manifest it. And I know that sounds all like spiritual woo-woo a bit, but it's not. If you start thinking about something and start saying it to yourself, you can become it. That's the way I did it. And like I said, if you want me to expand on that, I will do a long video and try and explain my process thoroughly. But I think 15 minutes is enough for this video. I hope that ramble, that there's something in there for someone to be able to take, and that it makes sense. This journey is the most rewarding one that I've been on in my life. It's 8 years since I gave up drinking, and I can't believe where the time has gone. And I am a different person now. I just am. And that for a lot of people is hard. It's hard for them to relate to. It's hard for them to be around. Now that's their own stuff, you know. But life is very different. It's beautiful, and I would never change it. And it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. But if you're sober, you'll get it. If you're not and you're thinking about it, please do not let any of these hard points get in the way. They are all beautiful. They are all amazing journeys within themselves. And you are strong enough to be able to do it. You are strong enough. If I can do it, you can do it. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Big love. And if anybody has got any comments, direct stuff that they want to talk to me about, then please comment. I've got an Instagram page, a TikTok page, so I will put those links here. I think they're already here. But yeah, subscribe and like, and hopefully if this gets some sort of traction, I'll start doing a few more videos. But anyway, big love guys, to your joy journey and to you.